Hey makers, it's Mel. Today on Makers Moments, I'm going to discuss a hot button topic in the soap making community, the subject of botanicals and mold. Some claim botanicals should never be used in soap. Some claim it's perfectly fine. Today, I'm going to help explain why these two perspectives exist so that you can fully understand the relationship between soap, botanicals, and mold. To understand the relationship between soap, botanicals, and mold, we first have to understand how mold grows. Microscopic mold spores are virtually everywhere. They travel from our natural environment through the air we breathe. In this state, we live symbiotically with them, mostly unaware of them, but sometimes affected by them by way of those pesky seasonal allergy symptoms. However, in order to actually grow mold, mold spores need heat, moisture, and organic matter to create the appropriate environment in order to propagate and thrive. So, what does this mean for botanicals and soap, you ask? Well, first, we have to understand the chemical components of soap. Mold needs an acidic pH environment to thrive. Most pure oil-based soap recipes and melt and pour bases have a pH balance between 8 and 10, meaning they are far too alkaline to sustain mold. However, this can change if high water content fresh materials are added to the recipe, such as fruit purees, cooked veggies, grains, fresh botanicals, and other organic compounds that introduce water or change the pH in the chemical makeup of your recipe. If you're making cold process soap, it's important to only add these ingredients during the tracing stage, as the water evaporates during curing. The water from the fresh organic matter will evaporate as well during this time and prevent mold from forming. If you add them in during a different stage in your process, you're likely to open up your soap to growing mold. If you're using melt and pour base and want to add botanicals or organic matter, make sure that you use a base with a pH between 8 and 10 to ensure mold prevention. And only use botanicals or organic powders that have been pre-dried, like our natural powders and botanicals, to avoid adding water into your recipe and prevent mold from forming. Additionally, your soap making and storing environment will play a role in the nature of mold formation as well. Remember to keep your work area free of excess moisture and humidity every step of the way. If your soap contains botanicals or any type of organic additives, it's important to let your customers know that they should keep their soap on draining caddies where excess water can run off and use their bathroom fans or windows to eliminate humidity. That way, the bars can dry quickly and don't stay warm or wet for a prolonged amount of time after use. All in all, botanicals are completely safe to use in soap, and the chances of mold forming are extremely minimal, especially if you're taking the proper steps during your making process to prevent it, and educating your customers on how to adequately care for their soaps. Now that you understand the relationship between soap, botanicals, and mold, we hope that you can rest a little bit easier knowing that your beautiful creations won't make a moldy mess. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay in the know on all the latest makers tips and tricks. Happy making!